So, Sakura Con 2013. This is actually kind of an interesting one because I actually started planning, like me and my friend Emily started planning to go planning this trip like it was like during the week after I found out that I was actually going to be heading back from Germany. Because like I needed to pre-register and all that sort of thing, so I didn't have to wait forever in line. And so like it was like on the Sunday I decided to decide to actually head back from Germany because it was very kind of I was kind of lonely and homesick for that whole thing. But then like some of the following days we basically Skyped, and then it's like, oh hey, you can since you're coming back you can go to Sakura Con. I'm like, sweet, great idea. Let's pre-register and let's book a hotel, because even though my family has Wyndham points, like Worldmark points for one of the hotels like near the convention center in Seattle, we decided to book a hotel room because I don't know, I guess I wanted to feel more adult. So we it's great because it's like I didn't realize where exactly the hotel was until we actually headed there like on Friday. Because like we stayed at the Renaissance, which is literally like one of the hotels that's literally right next to the freeway. Like you take an exit onto Madison Street, for like you take a right, you take one of the exits off of to Madison Street. You turn on Madison Street, and literally it's right there, like right as you cross the bridge. That's that's over the freeway. Simple enough. And of course we walked just like, and the convention center was like about 2 blocks. So we got there, and I didn't go to the opening. We didn't go to the opening ceremony this year because we got there like later. We got there at like 10:16. Like 10:16 was like when we were actually on the in the grounds, like in that vicinity of the convention center. So we didn't get to go to that, but we did get in line for Vic Mignogna's autograph signing. Well, he had a couple of them, but we got in line for that. And it was at that point I realized that I didn't bring anything this year for anyone to sign. Like last year, I basically rearranged this stuff. I like how basically one of the crown jewels of my collection is Nausicaa the Valley of the Wind, Where's the Wind, and Where's the Wind in German. But anyway, like it wasn't like last year where we planned on getting in the Steve Bloom line, and I actually had something for Steve Bloom to sign. Yeah, it's like right there, where he signed it as Spike and puts in the bang. I hope, God willing, Steve Bloom will live on forever. But when or if he does die, I get the sneaking suspicion that he'll have "bang" written on his tombstone. Someone will make that happen. And it's kind of sad because like there are quite a few things that I have that I would have had for Vic Mignogna's design. Like I have Soul Eater. This part of Soul Eater. I still haven't finished watching Soul Eater. It's been a while actually, but I could have had it like I could have been like, here, Death Scythe, sign this, or hey, Grease, sign this. Even though I don't think Grease actually does much in the first 2 seasons of Hetalia. He doesn't really. It's like literally the only thing he does is, I guess, sleep. In that opening bit in the first episode, but then like the 3rd season, he's like, it's like Greece and Japan and Turkey are all hanging out. It's kind of fun. But yeah, we went to Vic Mignogna's, and of course they had I did not know Vic Mignogna could sing, and apparently he has like an album, and he also had like a DVD with it was like a live concert DVD that had a bunch of other stuff on it. But I didn't know he could sing. That's kind of interesting to me. But they did have things that I could, you know, buy, like, you know, headshots that I could purchase and for him to sign. So I got this. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of Fullmetal Alchemist yet, so I really only knew Vic Mignogna as Tamaki Suo. Call me King! That's so much. It's so much fun because Tamaki is such a fun character. He really is. So it was just really great. And Vic Mignogna is just such a nice guy. Like he's a really great guy. Like, oh man, what the hell did I do with the rest of that time in the first day? It was a long day. Basically, I think we met up with some friends at the dealer's room, the vendor's room, whatever it's called. The big freaking room with all the shops and the artist alley and on the other side. We went, so after, you know, searching, after, like we met up with some of my other friends, and we kind of went hanging out around there. And then, I think I lost my friends around somewhere in that vendor's room. Before that happened, I bought these two. I bought Setsuna and Konica from Negima. Negima, a manga that I really need to get back into reading because it actually finished recently. Like the manga actually finally finished, which is fantastic. And I have one of the Negima series, like the first 9 episodes, in German, like the German dub. And for some reason, the German thing, it has German subtitles and Polish subtitles. Not really sure why. But yeah, I found this. It's like it was like one of the plushie stands, and I found Setsuna, and it's like I was just thinking to myself, gee, I wonder if they have a Konica. And then I found this, and I'm like literally, I stopped dead in my tracks. This is basically what you call a shipper's blue screen of death, where it's like, oh my god, I could actually buy something with my OTP in it. Because if you haven't read Negima, the sexual tension between these two is hysterical. Everyone ships these two. Everyone. And they're adorable. It's just so... oh god, it's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful because I now actually have those two now. But oh yeah, and of course I brought Liechtenstein with me because because like last year I commissioned someone to give me to make me this, so. And there were some Liechtenstein cosplayers this year, like I think at least 2. One of them was manning one of the was one of the artist alley vendors. And there was a there was also, like, I think in the same vicinity we found a Liechtenstein cosplayer and a Belarus cosplayer. And basically, my friend Emily helped me, like, basically get them together so I could take a picture of the two. Basically, they were just standing there and Belarus was holding Liechtenstein. And they looked so young, like, I think they looked about maybe 12 or 13, so it's like they were so, and they looked very nervous, and it was, like, very nervous and awkward, so I was like, okay. And I'm not the kind of guy that would make people uncomfortable on purpose. So I didn't ask them just to do anything because I just said, okay, take the picture and we're good. Thank you very much. I try to not be an asshole. That's basically my goal in life, not be an asshole. 8 minutes, shit. But after a while, after of course I lose track of my friends, I'm of course wandering around the thing alone, which tends to happen quite a bit, especially when there's like around like shop areas where I want to look at stuff. I don't remember much of Friday because I guess I just wandered around for a while, and then I went to like one of the karaoke rooms. I went to like one of the karaoke rooms, and apparently they only allowed. By the time that it got to my turn, they only said that you could only do stuff from animated stuff. Like you could sing like the American openings, like someone did sing the Pokemon theme song. You could do the Disney stuff. And I was thinking, shit, what could I sing? Because basically they don't. Because I think I originally signed up as for like a Take on Me by Aha. funny thing about that later on. But what happened? But then it's like, oh no, you can't do that. I'm like, fuck. So the only thing that could come to mind, because I'm actually, hold on a second, because I'm rereading this, I'm starting to reread this Strawberry Panic. The only thing I could think of was a song from Strawberry Panic, Kedakaki Yorino, and I only thought about singing that song. The sad thing about that song is that like it's, you know, higher pitched because it's an all girls anime, so it's a lot higher register. So I basically sang it low, and it was also my first time singing Japanese. Nailed it. What was weird about that, like when I got on stage to do the mic check, I checked the mic, I was like, is this working? Martha? Before I forget, there are a few instructions for when I turn human. 1. Don't let me hurt anyone. We can't that we know what humans are like. 2. Don't worry about the TARDIS. I said to emergency autopilot, just let it hide away. 4. No, wait a minute. 3. No getting involved in big historical events. 4. You. Don't let me abandon you. And 5, very important, 5. Don't let me eat pears. I hate pears. So I did that whole thing and got, you know, some people cheered for that, and I'm like, haha. I live for those moments where I feel like, I'm awesome. And I guess in a way I am like Prussia, because people keep saying I'm Prussia. Oh yeah, on my badge I wrote Preußen, because it's like, you can have your name and then you can also write down like what you want on there, like a nickname or something like that. So I wrote down Preußen because Preußen is the German word for Prussia. And then apparently they, like at the conventions, at the anime conventions, they have a masquerade ball where people get in more formal dress or they go cosplaying as someone, but they only get in if they have a mask. So I got a mask at like one of the Make a Mask workshop panels. I didn't actually do anything to it. I couldn't do anything to it because the glue wouldn't stick. So it was just a regular black mask, which looked kind of fine, and I got into my suit. Realized I didn't have my tie. And basically how the masquerade ball works is that they want you to dance with people. Like they'll set up some really nice mood music, like some Frank Sinatra. I think they play Skyfall by Adele. They some of those sort of things, and some like more upbeat samba sort of things. And they basically want you to go and dance with people. And that, like, the icebreaker thing was like, okay, partner up with someone, then dance, then like they'll say snowball, then you switch to some other person. And after that is done, it's like, okay, great, now let's get the show on the road. So basically the whole thing is, basically the whole thing was, me going around, basically going, may I have this dance? Or some people asking me, shall we dance? And I could have danced all night, as literally. It's great because two of the people I talked with, I brought that sort of thing up, where it's like, I'm not thinking of the song from My Fair Lady. I could have danced all night. Yeah, that's how I talk. So it was fantastic. It was a great night. Really great 2 hours. Danced with a lot of girls and one boy. So it was a really great night, and I actually did keep in touch with the last person I danced with that night. I met them the next day, and the next day, after going with my friends and then losing track of them again, forgot what we did that morning. But what happened was I met up with the people who are in the. I met up with the last girl I danced with, because I actually got her phone number, and she texted me, and I was in the We Love Yu-Gi-Oh panel, and basically what they were doing in the Yu-Gi-Oh panel was just playing playing one of the computer games. So they texted me she texted me hey, you want to hang out with us? I'm like, cool, sure. So I go down there, and I meet up with her and her posse, and then we get in line for Vic Mignogna's Q&A, and one of the girls bought the first episode of the first volume of Ouran High School Host Club. So we started reading from it, like doing dramatic readings from the manga, and I love Tamaki's lines. I feel like that if I got the cosplay, I could do a pretty good Tamaki. Like, welcome, Papa, to the realm of wealth. It'd be so much fun. So we go into Vic Mignogna's Q&A, and he's just, a ball of enthusiasm. Like two of the things he showed before they started the panel was like 2 AMVs with like one of his songs. One of them was Ouran based, so. But it was a great Q&A, and I did record at least something from it, like when he talks about what it was like to audition for Tamaki, because for that one he actually Caitlin Glass actually sent him the first 3 episodes of Ouran, like before it was licensed for Funimation. And Caitlin Glass I believe is the voice of Haruhi. So Vic actually, I say actually a lot. Vic got really attached to Tamaki and really wanted to yearn to play that voice. And so he auditioned for it. Caitlin messes with him basically and says, "So, did you want to audition for anyone else?" Just like, holy shit! You two act so much like your characters. How do you do that? So afterwards, I basically try to find my friend Emily. Like I basically say goodbye to my new friends and find Emily. And I find Emily in a panel that was about basically the history of the Japanese ghosts, like the Japanese ghosts, like I think they called it Yurei. Talking about how basically the psychology and the history of basically why a lot of Japanese ghosts in Japanese pop culture look the same. Like why Sadako looks like Sadako, or why the person why one of the ghosts from Grudge looks like Grudge. So looks like that. So it was very fascinating, like getting into the whole history, and it was really fascinating. I think after that we went to the Cheesecake Factory for dinner and we got appetizers. Light meals is more like it, because one of the appetizers was 4 taquitos. Like, 4 taquitos with the cheese and it's like 4 mounds of one mound is like guacamole or tomatoes or sour cream. It just appetizers my ass. So, oh man. After that, we snuck into the Hetalia World Meeting panel, and that was just weird. That was just a weird thing, because I guess what they try to do with the Hetalia World Meeting is what they try to do is I don't know, I'm guessing here. Like what they do is they have people who run it. The people run it, and I guess they're planning out some sort of weird play thing to go along with it, to end it with. And it gets weird, especially when they call on people who can't speak that loudly. So you can barely hear it, and sometimes it gets very melodramatic, and you're just walking in like, what the fuck is going on? Why the hell is a Italy cosplayer have losing intestines? Why is she a zombie? I know what Heta Oni is, by the way. I didn't bother to look any further. I just know that it's something to do with the nations as zombies. It was weird. They try to tell a story sometimes, I guess. It was weird. But, oh! Something I forgot to mention. In the vendor's hall, Little Karibo was there. Yeah, Little Karibo he wasn't even on the official guest list. He was just he just showed up. And so he had to stand where where people could, buy something and have him sign it, or you could obviously have him sign it. You could chit chat with him. It was great. Of course, when he does the autograph, it's like, okay, I'm making this out too. It's like, okay, Jake. And it's like, do you have a favorite character from the show? I blanked, and the only thing the only thing that's coming to mind is Golden Magic Chicken, which is actually not what it is. The Winged Dragon of Ra. In the show, it's Mega Ultra Chicken. Boy. So he was great. He was a nice guy. He was fun. What else did I buy? I bought a couple of stuff. Oh yeah, I bought like the 24th volume of Negima because I think I went to like one of my local trade-in bookstores for and some of them do have manga, like some of them have various. I think this particular one usually has like a few volumes of Love Hina, but none of them are the first one, so that's what happens. But this one had like the 25th, so I bought that, and I thought that I had the 23rd volume, but I don't apparently. So I need to get the 24th volume somewhere, either buy it online, or one day just drive up to the Tri-Cities, drive that way to the Tri-Cities, because there's a Barnes & Noble there, because there's not really a place in Yakima that has manga, because our border's closed. So because it's like I realized I needed to get back into Negima, so I bought one of the volumes, and I also got a blind bag. It was a blind bag that had like 2 random manga and a CD, and a random CD. I got the 6th volume of Peach Girl. I've never heard of Peach Girl, so I'm not really sure about this. From what I've heard, it's actually kind of hard to get into because the female lead kind of acts like Bella Swan for a second. Kind of like acts like the uber-dependent girl. And the other one is, I'm not really sure if it's like, I don't know if it's just like a American made, or like American made and made to look like a manga, because it reads like it doesn't read backwards, which is the tip of it. It's the 3rd volume of The Rising Stars of Manga, and like all the different characters are in different styles, which that does seem kind of interesting. Maybe it might be a lot better version of Kappa Mikey, except with the whole American going. I've never watched Kappa Mikey, so I don't know. I've heard it's pretty awful, but it looks kind of creative, like the whole American style guy going to Japan, where everyone's like looking more like anime. As long as they don't look like the Canadian animated stuff. I think it's weird how it's like the Canadian animation stuff. They look very similar. Like if it has a very similar style, a very bland similar style, like whether it was Highlander, the animated series, or I guess it was like James Bond animated series, or I think it was a Conan one, or Sissy the Princess Sissy. I actually know about that one, but it's like it looks so bland, and it just makes me want. It hurts my eyes. Okay, and then I got this CD, and I haven't listened to it yet, so I don't really know what's on here. Looks like a bunch of different people, though. Oh boy. Let's see. And then we went back to the hotel room, and then like the Saturday night we went back to the hotel room and watched Les Miserables, the new movie based off of the musical. It's oddly enough, my main problem with that movie is not Russell Crowe. Like, the performances were okay for the most part. Russell Crowe, you could have gotten a bit more better with Russell Crowe. But he wasn't my main issue with the movie. I hated the cinematography. Hated the editing. Like, I hated how claustrophobic and how everyone is almost very close up in the frame. I hated how sometimes the framing doesn't make sense. I hated how quick most of the editing was. How there wasn't really that many big, huge, grandiose shots. There were some of them, but there weren't a lot of them. I could probably do another vlog on Les Mis, like on its own, but I just couldn't stand it. For the most part, like, the scenes where it just focused on the one person, like the one person singing, that was fine. When it tries to do that with a bunch of other people at the same time, I fucking hated it. Maybe I'll actually go into more detail if I do an extra vlog, but getting back on track, this is going to be a long fucking upload. Boy. And then the Sunday, we were trying to... I'm actually going to be ending this because it's like, we didn't do much on Sunday. On Sunday, we were trying to make it back, like, we were trying to go home early. So we actually left it around, like, noon. But we went there for a little bit. We went in there because I saw that, because they had a half-priced books booth. And I thought that was there was something I found some interesting stuff there, because it's like, oh wow, this stuff is for cheap. The cheapest thing I found though was, oh boy, the cheapest thing I found was the first volume of Full Metal Alchemist, and because I went to see Vic Mignogna's thing, so it's like, okay, I should probably watch Full Metal Alchemist now. So I have the first 4 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist, and that's actually a pretty good price for $5. Especially since, like, there's... Oh god, the pricing of anime is ridiculous. Like, they have Puella Madoka Magica. They have Puella Madoka Magica. They had Madoka Magica there. That was one of the big things there. But they had like limited Uber editions of the 3 volumes. It was a 12-episode anime, so 3 volumes, 4 episodes. So they had $75 box sets with, like, posters and all this shit, with a disc that has 4 episodes. How about no? How about you actually, at some point come out with a complete series thing? 12 episodes? Really? 12 episodes and you're gonna come out with... It's like buying this. It's like, really? This had to cost me at least 43 euros? For 9 episodes? 40... I'm just glad that I now have, that I actually just I was interested in, like, back when I was in Germany, I was interested in getting the Ouran High School Host Club dub, but I couldn't because it was so bloody expensive, and they only had 3 volumes because fuck the world. But when I was over there, I did have my host brother he was also into anime and had the complete manga set of Ouran, so he had this external drive full of anime, and he let me borrow it for a second. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I just kind of copy-pasted some things that I wanted to watch, or some things that I would like. And after converting, like, the AVIs to MP4s, because, PC to, because Windows to Mac, all that BS, I found out that I do have the complete series of Ouran High School Host Club in the German dub. I am very happy about that, because now it's like I really am interested in hearing, like, what other nations do, like what other nations do in terms of, like, dubbing voices. They'll be, in terms of voice acting, it's very interesting to me, at least, and I can half understand German, so fantastic. Anyway, so after I bought the Full Metal Alchemist thing, I'm like, what else could we do before we shove off? Then I'm like, oh, I wanted to sing some rock band. I want to sing some songs on the rock band. So we go to the top floor, and they have this big, huge room for rock band. And here's why. Because one half of the room, it's for, they have a stage for the rock band thing. They have a bunch of seats. They have the seats for the lineup. They have a few seats for the audience. and then in like the later the latter quarter of that room is like with a bunch of stand-up arcade machines for fighting games or DDR, that sort of thing. The other half of that room is complete empty space because that's where they have lineups. That's where they have like the coiling lines for. Like I was in that line, like I was in those things for the lineup for the Masquerade Ball and for Vic Mignogna's Q&A. So I was there for that. But this time I wasn't in line for anything, so I went up to do the Rock Band thing. And it was a very short line because it was Easter Sunday. Some people probably went to church or hang out with their families. So I got up there and some other people came up to play the guitar and the drums and bass and all that. And so I sang "The Adventure" by Angels and Airwaves, a great, beautiful song, by the way. So I sang that. I had a great time with that because I just love the song so much. Apparently, one of the guitarists said because I was in line with him and then I got back in line with him again. And he said that actually, yeah, you did a pretty good job with that last. You did a pretty good job with that last song. I think you did it a lot better than the actual singer. And I'm like, wow, someone said I sing better than Tom DeLonge. And I think I threw out the idea that it's like it is kind of funny to listen to Tom DeLonge singing about stuff and singing about the stuff he sings about in Angels and Airwaves, all that stuff, sort of music, like in Surrender, "When God Falls Fast Asleep." That sort of. It's fun to hear him sing those, and then listen to Blink-182, especially when they sing the song "Blowjob," or the song dedicated to George Carlin. It's just so weird. It's just weird. It's like, okay, so Tom DeLonge split from the group for a while to do Angels and Airwaves, and Mark Hoppus does a song with Owl City. It's just these two together in a room is just bizarre. Oh God. Oh boy. So I got in line again, and this time what happened was there was a line on the other side of the room. Someone on the other there was like a line. I don't know what the line was for, but there was a line on the other side of the room. Like they were up against the wall, so it wasn't like one of those long coiling lines. But I thought to myself, I have an audience. I have an audience. Fantastic. So here's what happened. I go up there and sing "Take On Me" by A-ha. And what was great about this is that and people are singing, people are the guys behind me are playing out the drums, and the poor guy who chose the bass on that has nothing to do on that song. But with me singing, every single time I hit that high note, the whole "I'll be gone in a day or two." Yeah, every single time I hit that high note, I got cheers. Like people were cheering every time I did that. So it was just great to sing that song because I basically could I could sing that song without sucking, I think. And I got applause when I was finished. I'm like, this is the greatest feeling in the world. Because I sang one of the funnest songs I could ever sing, and I got cheers, and I did a good job, and people were congratulating me. It was fun. And after that, we went to the hotel and checked out and loaded the car and booked it down I-90, I think. Yeah, I-9. We got on I-5 and then I-90, and that's how we get back to Yakima. Oh, but it was fun. It was so much bloody fun. Because... So yeah, there are a lot of great moments with the convention, the rock, singing the Rock Band stuff, or getting up in front of people, and it's like it does make me wonder what I actually do want to do with my life right now, because now that I think about it, because my friend Emily has a lot of work to do, and she started taking classes at our community college, and it's like she's she actually basically started her life earning money and all that sort of thing, and it's like, oh wow, I'm doing nothing right now, and no one has, at least not a lot of people have time to hang out anymore because they're either working or going to school, and that kind of sucks. And so and for a while I was having a lot of trouble figuring out like what I wanted to do, because a lot of the stuff that I was doing before, before the trip to Germany and all that drama, like after that I just kind of felt like not doing some stuff anymore. But I think that this sort of experience was very invigorating. Like maybe I could actually get back into writing stuff, like whether it be like writing fanfics or writing for scripts, trying to talk about stuff, actually try to build back my confidence. Because recently I've not been very confident in my own opinions. Like I basically kind of got the idea where it's like I used to be very opinionated, but now it's like people are able to refute some of the stuff that I say, or able to refute like using their perspective, and I kind of lost interest in being very opinionated, because it's like everyone has an opinion and everyone has their own ways to argue other opinions, so what's the bloody point? So I don't know. Maybe I could somehow still, maybe that'll just be like a way to approach certain things, but because I don't want to spend all of my life doing absolutely nothing. And maybe this sort of experience, maybe like the whole thing, like the convention with that whole experience will help me in remembering how much of a great time I had. Maybe they'll help me actually go out and do stuff and get a job or take classes, that sort of thing. So, but anyway, yeah, that was a really great experience, and it was a really fun time. Now I need to upload this. Alright. Have a nice night.